Good afternoon, children. Nice to meet you again in our moral science class. Hope you all are fine by God's grace. What did we learn in our last class? Last class, we learned about overcoming disappointments. I think, children, you understood that you should not lose confidence. You have to keep trying till you get success. Next, we learned it is important to remember that disappointments will always be a part of life. But like Gandhi, we too can turn a disappointment into a learning experience. Last, we learned about time. Time is a precious resource. It is important to manage time as a resource efficiently. We have to learn how to organize time and get more work done with less stress. Today, children, you are going to learn lesson 5. The title of the lesson is Whose Responsibility is It? Whose responsibility is it? What is the meaning of responsibility? The meaning of responsibility is it is the obligation to perform the task, functions, or assignments. So, the meaning of responsibility is it is the obligation to perform the task, functions, or assignments. Now we can see what is responsibility. What is responsibility? Being responsible means always trying to do the right thing and not blaming others for your wrong actions. We should always practice being responsible everywhere we go. All people and actions, things are interdependent. The world has become so small that no action can solve its problems alone in, in isolation from others. That is why I believe we must all cultivate a sense of responsibility based on love and compassion for each other. Children, I think you all have an idea of what responsibility means. Some of the responsibilities are doing your homework on time, taking care of siblings, keeping the house clean, helping your parents, giving respect, and obeying your parents. These are some of your responsibilities. So, responsibility is an important value that builds self reliance as well as a caring attitude. Children, now let's turn our book to page number 31. Whose responsibility is it? Whose responsibility is it? Keeping my room clean, my responsibility. Keeping my street clean, whose responsibility? Keeping myself safe, my responsibility. Keeping my city safe, whose responsibility? There are some things that are obviously our direct responsibility, but there are other responsibilities that we all share as citizens. Yes, even children like you, and yes, even kings. Whose responsibility is it? Keeping my room clean, my responsibility. So, my responsibility is to keep my room clean. Okay, children? Do you keep your room clean? You have to keep your room clean. Keeping my street clean. Whose responsibility? A street sweeper cleans the streets. It is also our responsibility. If we see any litter on the road, you can take and put it in the dustbin. Keeping myself safe, my responsibility. How can you be safe during COVID-19 pandemic situation? How can you be safe during COVID-19 pandemic situation? Stay safe by taking some simple precautions such as physical distancing, wearing a mask, keeping rooms well ventilated, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, etc. You can be safe. So these are some responsibilities. You keep yourself clean. Keeping my city safe. Whose responsibility? Municipal corporation is responsible to maintain the cleanliness, road construction, water supply, etc. And they keep the city safe. Children, you can also help keep your city safe by keep paper bags with yourself to store wet waste and throw them in dustbin only. There are some things that are obviously means in a way that can be easily seen or understood. Obviously means in a way that can be easily seen or understood. There are some things that are obviously our direct responsibility. So there are some things that can be easily understood as our direct responsibility. But there are other responsibilities that we all share as citizens. Yes, even children like you, and yes, even kings. So children, each and everyone have responsibilities in different places. As a student, you have responsible at school, at home, at classroom, etc. What is your responsibility as a student at school? Obey your teachers. Obey the teachers. Okay, you have to obey the teachers. Maintain discipline in class. Keep the school neat and tidy. Greet everyone with a smile. Free to express your opinions, feelings, and ideas to your teacher. Also, children, you have the responsibility to work hard, to do your best, to complete assignments, homework, to respect other opinions, feelings, and ideas. Pay attention to personal hygiene. Help children in need, sharing things, use polite language, etc. Attending classes on time and regularly. Being prepared for classes with all necessary supplies. Taking good care of school property. So, these are few responsibilities for a student at school. What is your responsibility as a student at home? Children, you should obey your parents. You should be good at studies. You should do your homework regularly. You should keep your school bag and books in the cupboard. You should help your mother with house chores work. Now we can see students' responsibilities in classroom. So, what are the students' responsibilities in the classroom? Okay, listen carefully. You have to listen carefully. Turn in your work. Check your work. Be neat. Students must respect the teachers. Obey the teachers. Students must have 100 percentage goal clarity. So students, children, you should have 100 percentage goal clarity. Students should question themselves again and again. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? So you have to question again and again, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? Students should try different ways to understand and learn concept. Students should use dictionary. Students, you should complete your homework given by the teacher. When you do activities in the classroom, you have to keep your belongings safe and keep your place clean, and after doing the activity, you have to clean up the mess. Okay, children, we all have a responsibility to act for the common good, even if the situation does not directly affect us at that moment. And also, there are responsibilities we all share as members of a family, of a community, and of a nation. So, children, we must be alert in every situation to see where and how we can be of helpful to others. Children, with this, I like to conclude this lesson. We can continue this lesson in the next class. Thank you, children.